we've spent a lot on this. Let's kind of move over to that draft situation. It did, but I liked it.
Bad boy in half.
I fucking loved it. But I mean, the draft did take a change though yesterday, Dave. The Jets won a game where they shouldn't have. I'll be honest, almost gave them a dry dude because Adam Gase does know they're trying to get a number 1 pick, right?
Adam Gase knows, and he knows he doesn't have a job next year. So he's like, right here, Jets fans, right fucking here. Just big old finger.
Here's the thing. I think that's what he might have been doing.
I think that's 100%.
So
he's coaching to win games, Ricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone who is saying that this win, though, is the worst thing for the Jets and that now they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, they're probably not going to get Trevor Lawrence unless, the Jaguars beat the Bears next week. Unless something like that happens.
There's a chance.
Here's why I don't think this is the end of the world for the Jets, Dave, because everyone now is talking about Justin Fields. He didn't look good in the Big Ten championship game. I know they were saying that he might have been playing with a sprained thumb, so that might have played into it. But fact is, he hasn't looked good in all 6 of his games this year. There were about 3 of them where he didn't look too hot this year, where Trevor Lawrence has looked great in almost fucking every game that he has played. So people are wondering, should the Jets pass on Justin Fields? Dave, I'm going to go ahead and answer this question and start the conversation. Yes, they should pass on Justin Fields. Here's why. Take offers. I am taking offers for trades because you are going to have teams. Carolina, if Justin Fields is on the board, yeah, they have Teddy, but they could trade up for him. Atlanta's going to need a quarterback. The Vikings at 14, the 49ers at 12, Detroit at 11, Bears at 16, Patriots at 15. That's at least 7 teams in the top 18 that are going to need quarterbacks. What I would do, and here's the thing, depending on how far you want to fall if you're the Jets, I would pass on Fields because you already have Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is not hot garbage. You just need to pair him up with a better coach. What I would do, trade with a team, and I would still take a wide receiver. Let's say you trade with Atlanta. You're still in play for Jamar Chase because really the only team that would need him, he would go to probably Miami at 6. If you fall farther than that, Devonta Smith is not bad from Alabama. You could also take a Kyle Pitts if you wanted to, if it's either between Chase and Pitts. So you can get a pass catcher. You have a second first-round pick at 26. You can even get an offensive tackle or an edge rusher, depending on if you want to bolster the defense or bolster your offense. And then with your second-round pick, Travis Etienne. So you're telling me that if the Jets passed on Fields and got either Pitts and Chase, or Pitts or Chase, pick your whichever one you want, an offensive tackle, maybe like a Dylan Radunz from North Dakota State would be there, and then Travis Etienne with their first 3 picks, would that not immediately make this Jets offense better with Sam Darnold? Fact that Gase would be gone and you're bringing in a coach to work with them?
It does make them better, Ricky, but the problem is that having the opportunity to coach a superstar quarterback rookie makes this job infinitely more interesting to available coaches. If my name is Eric Bieniemy and I want to coach a team, and I'm being told that I get to go pick Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick of the draft, and I get to work with the best young talent we've seen since John Elway. I think that's a very attractive job. Now, if you tell me I get to go just hard cut there, you go, okay, now how about this team where you can try to rehab Sam Darnold, who, he's still young. He's had a couple of rough years where he's not looked great, but he's had some moments that give you hope, and we're going to put some nice pieces around him. Which one would you rather have? Trevor fucking Lawrence.
No, Trevor Lawrence is, but they're not getting, that's the problem. Yeah. Many people are now saying that, for example,
this has hurt their ability to get a top head coach. I think the best head coach available on the market, in most people's minds, was Bieniemy. Correct? Am I right?
A lot of people are throwing out. I can't think of his name. I got to pull it up. The defensive coordinator from Buffalo. A lot of people are now throwing him out there because of all the success we've seen from Buffalo. Today, obviously, I listened to Hammer Down today. And I
didn't get a chance to listen.
Yeah. And Lombardi even threw out. He threw out his name, and he was like, the Jets the one thing this has hurt is the Jets' chance to go, our job is most appealing. Because like you said, I don't get Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't want to go, well, fuck. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence. Who knows? Maybe the Jaguars now help themselves.
Maybe the Bears for a coach. Decide to roll over.
Mm-hmm. I'll ask this. If you're the Bears at 14, and if Justin, let's say Lawrence is a Jacksonville Jaguar, Fields is on the market, would you want to trade up at 2 to get Fields, or would you say, I'm going to roll the dice and I'll take either Lance, Wilson, or Trask, whichever one falls to me? If they do, because these quarterbacks may be rising and we could see what we saw in 2018.
Are any of those quarterbacks better than Mitch Trubisky right now?
Yes.
I honestly have to ask.
Yes, they are.
Because Mitch has been out there slinging the rock for the last couple weeks. I don't know if you've been watching, but you should have watched because we just kicked the shit out of you. And by kick the shit, I mean we escaped narrowly with a fluky victory.
Yeah.
And I fully acknowledge that was not a clean win at all.
And how I say like 2018, Baker went 1, Sam Darnold went 3.
Really, Matt Rogue?
What?
Sean McVay rehabbed Jared Goff. Now he's one of the biggest coaches in football. If you win, good things happen. Yeah, what did Jared Goff just fucking do? He just lost to the Jets.
I mean, the defense didn't play that much better. The defense didn't play that much better.
Jared Goff can't fucking play when a defense gives pressure. We watched it happen in Miami. We've watched it happen all season. Mm-hmm. He is a safe quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. He will not win you games. He just will try to not lose you games. Yeah. There's a clear distinction in the NFL between that caliber of player. And I think that's the big difference here when you're looking at a Trevor Lawrence who can win you games and someone who there are unknowns about, like that second tier, that Zach Wilson, that Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask looks like he could be special. He's got the size. He's got the throwing power.
I would like him over Mitch Trubisky.
Defense.
I would like him over Mitch.
I want to say I would too. But I don't know who our offensive coordinator will be next year. I don't know who our coach will be next year. And I don't want to do that to another kid.
Hey, let's be honest. Bears won this week. Bears win 2 more weeks. If they win 1 more week, Dave, they maybe make a playoff because the Cardinals are losing. Matt Nagy might be your coach.
I know. And I'm not prepared for that world yet. The point is here, Justin Fields, I think I agree with you in the fact that the Jets should look to trade the pick. I think it's the worst kept secret in football is the immediate panic reaction of, fuck, we don't get Trevor Lawrence, to great, now is Justin Fields a better quarterback than Sam Darnold? I think, and I might be in the minority here, I think I would take Justin Fields. I think I would go with Justin Fields here as a shot in the dark and try to move Sam Darnold for a late 1 or a 2. I mean, I think you can get a 2 for Sam Darnold, no problem at this point, from one of those other teams because he's an established product, and I think that if you're not looking for that long-term development project like a Trey Lance, I think he's the next available quarterback. Like if you had to go, I would go Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, probably about down here, and then like Sam Darnold right underneath that, and then like a Trask, and then a Trey Lance. Like in order, that's how I kind of would do it. And I know there are other free agent quarterbacks out there who will be available for teams and other guys who are clearly on the block. Yeah. But as far as QBs go, like in that mindset, like I think the Jets should consider trading the pick, but if an offer does not blow them away, heavily consider taking Justin Fields here.
I'm going to say no matter what, trade the pick.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that is, let's say you don't want Fields, which right now I am not like, I don't know if Fields or Darnold should be the guy. There's going to be a lot of due diligence that needs to be done between now and the draft. Absolutely. But there's a part of me that goes, don't rule out keeping Darnold. Don't feel like you're handicapped into Justin Fields because there are more question marks about him than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was the first sure pick. If I'm taking Fields, let's say I'm going with your thought, and it's like I'm going to take Fields, number 2. Yep. First off, I'm keeping that very close to the chest. I ain't letting no one fucking know. Number 2, I am then, if the draft order stays like it is right now, I'm taking a page out of John Lynch's book with the 49ers. I'm calling up the Bengals at 2 or at 3. And I'm going, hey, man, we really like Penny Sewell, baby. We really like Penny Sewell. Like, Penny Sewell's our guy. We know you really like him. I wanted to call you to at least, give you a chance to get your guy. Because I know you want your guy, but like, if we're stuck here, if this clock runs out, like, we'll fucking take him. Could you think the Jets?
Just really twist an arm on this one.
I would twist their arm. Like, the fucking Niners got a pick swap at 2-3.
Yep.
The basically a third round selection, a fourth round selection, and a third for the next year.
We have a bad GM. I understand. You don't have to rub it in my face every show.
I'm just saying, like, could the Jets pull off a trade with the Bengals?
Who's the better player now?
No.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. But like, I'm looking at it. Could the Jets be able to pull off a move like that, to where if I'm going to go Fields, I'm going to try to work a trade with the Bengals, get some of their picks. Because then I'm just going to take Fields at 3 and I get more ammo later on.
I think the expectation is Fields goes 2 one way or the other. Whoever's at 2 is taking Fields in my mind.
So the Bengals would trade up for Fields?
No, I don't think the Bengals would trade up for Fields. I'm saying another team would trade. Like, if
so the Bengals would then trade that pick?
If the Bengals were if the Jets were shopping 2, I think the interest there would be for Fields, not for Penny Sewell. That's what I'm saying. I think that you can try to swindle the Bengals into the deal, but other teams will be like, yeah, no, I want number 2 so I can lock in Fields. Like, that's the right answer. But that's what other teams will try to do.
But here's the tricky thing you play if you're the Bengals then. I traded for the pick. Now I'm going to trade, let's say, with the Falcons and go back to 5. Well, if I'm the Jets at 3, if I traded back to 3 and Fields went at 2, I'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm taking Penny Sewell at 3. Then the Bengals get fucked out of Penny Sewell. Like, that's the guy the
Bengals do this. I'm saying the Jets are doing this. That's what I was saying. It was the number 2 pick will be used to take Fields. That's what I strongly feel. I feel that he is the guy teams want to secure at the top of that draft. Penny Sewell is very good. And I think he will have a great career. But I think the number 2 overall pick is going to be Justin Fields. What team takes him is the question. That's why I threw out your fucking Bengals conversation. I was like, great point. Don't want to have a Bears talk about how I got fucked over again.
But it's not even about the Bears. It's about if I'm the Jets, I'm going to get Fields no matter what. I don't care if I have to. I don't care if I'm getting them at 3. If I can try to get more picks out of the Bengals,
they don't get him at 3. Is my point. They have to take him at 2 because I think someone else would. I think that if you're trading back from 2. That every other team who wants the number 2 pick wants Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That's the only pick you go up for.
So then,
and I think the Bengals call their bluff on it.
Yeah, so then like I asked.
Then the Bengals could trade number 3. Let's take Penny Sewell at 2. Fucking do it. I dare you. Then guess what? The Bengals hold the power. They have Justin Fields on the board. Do you know how many teams want to trade for Justin Fields? You just said 7 teams.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's the better deal.
Yet again, like, I'm not saying it's a for sure they could do that, but like...
No,
I would try that, and then it's like if nothing worked,
scenarios, that's all we can do right now.
If the Bengals were like, nah, fuck off, like what you just said, if I'm the Jets, I just hang up the phone and go, all right, Justin Fields, call it in. Like that's what I would do in that situation of like, all right, we tried, let's go with our guy. Like that's just what it would turn into. I agree with you though that Justin Fields is being taken at 2. It's just who's going to do it. And if I'm the Jets, maybe at this point. Maybe I'm leaning a little bit more. Let me get more ammo down the road. Maybe I don't need a quarterback right now.
I think I heard from.
They've got a ton of picks.
14 picks in the first 3 rounds.
They've got 2 seconds. They've got theirs and the Seahawks. They have 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds, a 4th, 2 fifths, a 6th, and a 7th right now.
I think the number I heard was they had 14 picks 1 through 3 in the next 3 years. So instead of the 9 that normal teams would have, they have 14. I think that was from Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, right now, Tankathon has them as 10 total picks in the draft.
Yeah, I'm saying the next 3 years.
Yeah, the next 3. They've got a ton of picks. Like that's all they've done is
3 years, rounds 1 through 3 is what I'm saying. They have 14 picks, which is a lot of capital. So I completely am on the side of you have to take a quarterback here, move on from Sam Darnold, which leads into our comment section. Mad Rogue saying, if I'm the Bears, do I trade for Sam Darnold? No, because I don't know if he's any better than Mitch Trubisky. And that's a blatant, I don't know if it should be taken as an insult.
I think he is.
But I don't think that here's the problem. He may be better than Mitch Trubisky, but can we do better with him than what we've done with Mitch Trubisky. And that's the problem. The limitations of our offensive scheme, our system, and our personnel together. Is it worth going after a high draft capital pick of trading a first-round pick or a second-round pick for Sam Darnold at this point in time? I don't know. I don't know that we get that much better by doing that. Second question that I think we should address, 49ers, should they move up because of their capital? Like, they have a cap situation, obviously, from Eric in the comment section, Ricky. What do you think? I'm leaning 49ers to free agency. Obviously, cutting Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Only taking a couple million in loss there, not taking the big hit. It feels like they're a team who has to win now. Do you think they go for a young quarterback, or do you think that they take a shot in the draft?
I don't see them. I don't see them trading up for 2. I feel like right now, because of what we saw from Fields this week, there's going to be a lot of question about Fields, to where it's like, who's going to want to trade up for him? Because with them at 12, Wilson could be in play, Trask can be in play, hell, even Matt Jones can be in play. Because the one thing I did want to quickly mention about him, love this line from the SEC championship game. They said that Alabama, the entire offense, took it personally when people called Matt Jones a game manager.
Ooh.
And they asked him, they're like, well, does it upset you like it upsets the rest of your offense? He goes, now I'll dink and dunk my way into a win. He goes, I'll game manage my way into short passes in order to win a game. Like, it's got no problem with me. I'll be a game manager if I win. Fucking love that. I love that answer. The Niners, I don't know if I want to trade up for 2 because, like you said, I need my assets. I need them. I need my assets because I don't want to, and we don't even know if Justin Fields will be the guy to be able to lead a team like the Niners to a playoff year 1. He's not Trevor Lawrence. He's clearly not Trevor Lawrence.
He's not Trevor Lawrence, but I do think he's better than maybe what they got.
Yeah, no, he'd be better than what he got. It's just, will the price match the reward?
Right.
Kind of situation.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts on this before?
No, I think we covered all the thoughts. Every one of them.